used to work for a company that manufactures rare alloy metals, high metals that can withstand high temperatures and stuff like that. And these metals would sit in furnaces, and then they would go during the process. They would go through it's an electron beam, where they would put the metal in a crucible and shoot lasers at it. And the point of that is they would sit in this furnace really, really hot, and the laser beams would shoot at it, and the laser beams were even hotter than the alloys, the metals. And what it would do is it would melt out all the impurities. In the process of that, once it got melted down into all those impurities, iron and all the weak metals that wouldn't be able to stand going through Earth's atmosphere, once those metals were melted out and it was reformed into an ingot, and then that ingot would go through another process. It would go through a forge, sit in another furnace where it would melt out more impurities, and then it would go through a forge and hammer it out into either a slab or like a round log, and then it would just get cut into other pieces, and that's other processes. But the point of it is that metal would get melted out of the impurities. And the reason why is some of the customers that we had were like SpaceX, and would go to like nuclear applications, like fuel rods and stuff like that, and nuclear reactors. But I'll use the SpaceX one as an example. If those impurities had been left in the metal, and it was going to go up, and the rocket would go up through Earth's atmosphere, and those impurities hadn't been melted out, those metals hadn't been melted out, it's going to create weak spots in the metal, in the nozzles and the rocket booster parts. If SpaceX is sending up multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar satellites for whoever, and it's going through Earth's atmosphere, and there's even a microscopic part of, not a part, but some of the impure metals in that nozzle, and it's going through the Earth's atmosphere, it's going to create a weak spot and then blow up. That's millions and billions of dollars worth of SpaceX material, a reputation for the company. You're talking satellite, satellites and stuff like that for whoever. So when we're going through our hardships and trials, through the heat of the furnace that God puts us through, he's removing those impurities, those things that would create issues for the times that he calls us and he uses us for. He's trying to remove all the weak points, the weak spots that we have in our heart, the ego, the pride, all the things of the flesh, so that when he calls us, those don't become issues, during the calling that he's called us for. He's strengthening us. He's building us up. He's molding us. He's remaking us. He's creating us new. And so it's painful. It's hard to go through these things, these trials and tribulations and the furnaces, the hardships. It's painful, man. I'm telling you, like, there have been times where I've cried, and it's been really hard. I've lost relationships. I've lost friends. Some of my family and I aren't as tight as we used to be. But what he takes away, he replaces with good stuff. I'm building new relationships through my church. I was just at the gym, and he put 3 people in my path to encourage people, to build people up, to reaffirm that even though they're going through hardships, I've gone through hardships, and I've made it through. And I'm still going to go through hardships. I'm still going to struggle at times. So he's using you, and he's calling you, and you can't rush the calling either. That's another thing too, is you can't rush it. Like, you might think you're ready for it, but you're not ready for it. If you think you're ready for it, that's your pride and your ego bubbling up and getting in the way, and God's going to delay your calling. I heard something the other day, a sermon from Tim Timberlake the other day, and he said something that was really resonated with me, or something that's really profound and is really thought about it. And what he said was that there are people that are out there praying, and they're praying to the Lord, to God, for help. And we have everybody in God's kingdom has their own unique traits and abilities, things that we bring to God's kingdom. And while these people are praying, they're not praying for us specifically by name, but they're praying for the things that we can do individually. These special callings that God has for us, whether it's just one time or multiple times. But if we're trying to rush the blessing, we're showing God that we're not ready for him to use us yet, because our pride and our ego are getting in the way. And so we need to submit, deny ourselves daily, and carry our cross. And so we need to, do that by getting in prayer. We need to do that by being selfless in our things. Be very in tune with the things that the flesh is trying to get us to bite into, and deny ourselves of the things of the flesh. And you can do that through fasting. I've done that several times, and that's a very beautiful spiritual thing. I love fasting. Like, I'm a foodie. Like, I love food. I can, at 48, I can still eat like I'm 15, 16 years old, and I can throw down with the best of them. Joey Chestnut ain't got nothing on me. But I fast, and I love it. Like, he moves spiritual things with me like a day or two after I'm done fasting, and it's very peaceful. The first 18, 24 hours sucks, but after that, it's very peaceful. It's very calming, and I can feel the Lord's presence in the fast. So when you feel yourself in the flesh start moving through your ego and your pride, and you're trying to rush the calling that he's got for you, or the blessing that he's got for you, slow down, get into prayer, recognize the ego and the pride that's built up in that, and let him move you when you're ready. Because, like I was saying earlier, somebody's praying for you for something. It could be anything, a sign, and you could be that sign. But if you're rushing the calling, and you're rushing the purpose, and you're rushing the blessing, God's going to delay that. And you don't want to do that, because you're hurting the person that's praying for you. Be patient, be peaceful, and just let God move in you. And he will move in you in ways that you've never felt, and it's gonna wow you. I love it. Like, he put 2 guys in my path today in the gym, and it was a third guy. We didn't really talk too much about spiritual stuff, but the other 2 guys, it was awesome. It was really cool. I felt his presence in those 2 divine appointments, and I gave it up to him as soon as the 2 guys and I, we walked away. I just gave it up to him, gave him grace, or not grace, but thanks for doing that. So anyway, I love you all. Peace to you, blessings to you. Slow things down, let him work, let the Lord work, and he will work. Fast, pray, get in the word. Love you all.